fellow Southern Cameroonians, brothers and sisters, it's been a long time that I've not passed a message to you. But here we go. I've come back after this long while. If you bear with me, you will understand that it is better to see more before you act than to act without seeing. This is the time. This is the time for us to act as one, to come out in numbers, to work with a vision and imagination and liberate this country from the elements of La République du Cameroon. If you look far back, we left Cameroon many years ago because the elements of the Beti clan never wanted us to stay in Cameroon. They colonized us, they torture us, they extradite us to Europe. We are here for a better life because it is not that we want to be here, it's because we had no option to be here. Now, this very Beti clan and the very clique has started coming round one after another, hunting us down here in Europe and sending us back from the airport not to even arrive back into our countries. So how and why should we allow them to come and be holding meetings and inviting us to meetings in Europe, in the diaspora? If they want meetings with us, we need to be holding such meetings in Cameroon. We should not be holding such meetings here. I am speaking like a leader. As the leader of a party, I have the full right to speak and have the full right to condemn the nasty situations that is going on in Cameroon. We have to come together. We have to work together and denounce that as far as we are here in this country, the United Kingdom of Great Britain, we will not tolerate any of the ministers to step their foot in here. We condemn, we reject, we denounce, and we ask them to stay away. Any attempt, as I speak from now, that any Paul Biya's minister, any servant of Paul Biya, who is attempting to come into the United Kingdom to speak to any one of Southern Cameroon's elite, is taking this at his or her own risk. Because this is a final message. It will rain on them. We will beat some, torture some, and even burn down the embassy building. I'm writing a letter straight away down to Boris Johnson to make sure that nobody comes around to the Cameroon High Commission, because that building is at risk once we know that the elements of dictatorship, the elements of colonization, and the elements of brutality are here to get in touch with Southern Cameroonians in the United Kingdom. This is the stronghold of the independence that we are looking for. This is the United Kingdom, is the stronghold. This is where the strength of this independence is. And we in this UK, we should not tolerate this. Belgium has done their own share, South Africa has done their own share, Americans have done their own best. But at this moment, we have kind-hearted minds to tell Paul Biya to cancel every trip of all the ministers he's lodging around. No attempt to touch the United Kingdom. Because if they come here, they'll go back in pieces. We are not going to be arguing with them. We are brutalizing and penning down the whole entire embassy, not knowing whether somebody is inside or outside. I, for one, I locked down the embassy for one full day on my own in March 2016. So I wonder if each and every Southern Cameroonians resident in the United Kingdom comes out in number and storm down the embassy, and we burn it down into pieces. It goes down into smoke and dust, into rubbles. But if you don't want this to happen, you stay away and don't come around the United Kingdom. We want to be here in peace, and you stay with the La Republic. But the second message I will pass now to each and every citizen of Southern Cameroonian. It is time we start gearing up. It is time we start getting ready. We need to be able to move on the surface of Southern Cameroon. We need to be able to realize that it's our land, it's our people. They need to be free. We need to work towards that. We need to support each other. We need to work with each other. We need to listen to each other's cry. Pierre cannot be stronger than us. He can't be stronger than us. He might be good with his soldiers, with his military and police, but he's not good in the brain. With me, for myself, I understand I should be able to make sure that drones fly all over the Southern Cameroons and be able to survey and protect and fight the colonial masters. We should not be afraid. We will need to reclaim our land, and the time is now. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, brothers and sisters, I'm overwhelmed with you listening to me speak. As leader of a political party and a managing director of a company in the United Kingdom, I hold you in heart with love and sincerity. I wish to do more and do my best. Even if I do, I should be doing it more. Biya and his clique has turned down Cameroon. They have disappointed us, they have failed us, and they still carry on to pursue us here. If you will permit me, I would suggest that we join in the full support for the elected members and leaders of this group of SCAPO. We need to support them with ideology. We need to arm them with our strength. We need to work with them and make sure that we circumscribe and draw a line and get a date and when and how we have to achieve our independence. We are no longer going in for any federalism, or we are not going in for any other thing. Whatever be the case, we are not going to sit on the table to listening to rubbish from Paul Biya. We are going to be fighting fully and wholeheartedly to achieve our goal. And the time should be now and not far away. It is very impossible to run a country in different factions. It is very impossible for us to stay alongside in a union where some other groups are subjugated. It is very difficult to run a country with somebody who leads the country and is not. So all this has culminated for us to decide that it is time we go. They've created dungeons all over the country. Kidnapping, locking, beating, torturing. All Southern Cameroonians. Etude is full with all our leaders, with all our well-wishers, with all our freedom fighters. And they're coming right to Europe. They still try to fight us here. Let them not make any attempt to come into Europe, especially here in the UK, where this is our stronghold. We should not allow them to cross in here. Concerning schools in Southern Cameroon, I will make mention again. No school resumptions. Nobody, no parent should attempt or even think of sending the child to school. What is the school all about? There are thousands and thousands of Cameroonians, Southern Cameroonians, who doesn't work, who doesn't have jobs. They can't do businesses because they are prejudiced from. They're not allowed to do any good operations that can make their lives change in Cameroon. The only thing they have to do is come out of Cameroon after education and come and struggle in Europe, struggle in South Africa, America, and all over. So why should we be going to school? If we want to go to school, let's get our country. We get a good destination for our people, and then send them to school. They come out, they get good jobs, they get good businesses. They run around for the mission of the country. But there's no point going to school when the future is blocked by somebody who has no idea how this world is run. So no school resumption. Any parent who is making an attempt to send a child to school is wasting time, is killing the child instead of supporting the child. If you love your child, you want your child to be having a better future tomorrow, keep your child away from school. Listen to the leaders. Listen to the information that is coming out. There's always information circulating, and this information is vital for each and every one of us to listen. So no schools and no schools to Southern Cameroonians. Please stay away from school. Stay in the house, support your brothers and sisters, support your mom, and put this time to other creative use. This can still make a better future for you than going to school to accumulate empirical facts which will have no use for you tomorrow because it is not been structured by a legitimate regime which have love for you. Well, how can a regime that hates you sends you to school? How can a regime that kills you, kidnaps you, sends you to school? A regime that kills your brothers, kills your fathers, kills your sisters, follow them right up to Europe to beat and kidnap some, say they're sending you to school. What are you going to school for? When your brothers and sisters, your father, everybody is at risk. Don't go to school. Stay at home. We know what we are doing. We will fight for you, and we will show you the way, and we will give you a better future. School and schooling at this particular moment should be something you don't tolerate. Don't even think about it. As far as we are together with La Republique, don't think about school. Stay at home. Put your time into good use. Put your time into some creative objectives. This will come back as a positive thing when schools resume and when we've gathered and the momentum and get our independence. Don't go to any school. To the parents, this is an advice. Theory without practice is empty, while practice without theory is blind. And this is a common saying by Kwame Nkrumah. So why send children to school when they are going to come out blind? Why send children to school when they are going to come out empty? Don't send them. Keep them to stay at home. We will fight until the last drop. We need to move up over the land of Southern Cameroons and kick out all the La Republique elements and reclaim our land, send our children to school, show them the way, give them the practice, give them the theory, and put them on the foot map to develop their country. Give them the opportunity for businesses, give them a fair tax trading system, and give them the energy and the time to concentrate. So this is a pure waste of time, listening to concours every year. Concours every year. What are concours? This is shit. Don't send your children to school. This is pure waste of time. This is the last advice I'm giving to parents in Southern Cameroon. If you love us, you love our endeavor out here, you love the time we are putting in, listen to us. We don't hate you, we love you. We live here, but we think about you. Day and night. We think about our brothers in Cameroon. We think about our sisters and our parents. Because we love you with all our hearts. But the same very leaders that you love, they think that you love them. They don't love you. They hate you. They kill your children. They rape some. They molest some. They torture some. They frustrate them in schools. No better educational system. But they come back and say, you go to school. When you go to school, what have you been doing? We are all here. Some of us came out as scholarships students, but we can't go back. When we come into Cameroon, they're hunting us. They're sending us back at the airport. They don't allow us to dwell in Cameroon. They give us high taxes. So are you going to make a difference? If they allow them to go, the children to go to school, what are they going to do under Paul Biya's rule? Please don't send children to school. Leave them to stay at home. Enough is enough. Today, I've just passed 2 vital messages. The first message was to all Southern Cameroonians resident in the UK. I draw the attention to watch at Belgium. I draw the attention to watch at South Africa. And I draw the attention to watch at America. But this is the hub. This is where the happening is. This is where the independence is going to come. We have 2 objectives. Either burning down the embassy with all the Paul Biya's ministers inside and ambassadors. They don't represent us. And I'm going to send a letter down to Boris Johnson, as I said. So you need to be behind me to support into this. We don't want them to touch down to this land. That's the first objective of this speech. That's the first and final. The second is for those in Southern Cameroon. Respect the leaders. Respect the information that is circulating. Respect the people that are standing for you. Do not send your children to school. That is final. Do not send them. Tell Biya, enough is enough. I thank you today for listening. And may you share this to each and every one of us, to each and every one of Southern Cameroonians, that if you don't want to do something, do not disturb those who are already doing it. So if you support Southern Cameroon, it's better you join in. If you don't support, do not discourage anybody. Stay silent in your own area. This fight is not for you, but we don't say that if we achieve, you will not leave. You will enjoy our Southern Cameroons equally like anybody else. But do not disturb those who are already doing something that is going successful. The earlier you join, the better. So let's fight and put the roadmap for a free Southern Cameroon. Let God bless us, and let God bless our people, and God bless Southern Cameroons. Thank you.